Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Mrs. Gallagher, and today we're going to talk about triangle and angle facts. So our objective for today is determine the angles of triangles. So the sum of the measures of the angles of every triangle adds up to 180 degrees. So all of the angles together, your interior of your triangle is equal to 180. There's three different types of triangles we're going to discuss by its angles and sides. So our first type of triangle, if you look at the first figure, we have three slash marks. 1, 2, 3. And this indicates all the sides are equal. Therefore, this is going to be an equilateral triangle. So an equilateral triangle, all the sides are equal or congruent, all have the same length. And if all the sides are equal, then all of the angles are equal to each other. So all of the angles are equal. So in an equilateral triangle, all the sides are equal and all the angles are equal. Let's look at the next triangle. Now if you look here, we have 1 slash mark, we have 2 slash marks, and 3 slash marks. And that indicates none of the sides are equal. So if none of the sides are equal, this is called a scalene triangle. So in a scalene triangle, all three sides have different lengths. So all three sides have different lengths. And additionally, all three angles have different measures. So in a scalene, all three sides have different lengths, and all three angles have different measures. Now, in our last triangle, we notice that we have 2 slash marks here and here. Therefore, that indicates those two sides are equal. And then we have 1 slash mark here. So here we have an isosceles triangle. 2 sides are equal. So in an isosceles triangle, we have 2 sides that are equal or have the same length. So 2 sides are equal, and if 2 sides are equal, then 2 angles are going to be equal. 2 angles will be equal. So isosceles, 2 sides are equal, and 2 angles are equal. And an easy way I like to remember isosceles, in the word isosceles, we have S-O-S, and that indicates your 2 sides are equal. So let's do some examples. So it says, draw and label a triangle with the given measurements. Find the missing angle. So it says, measure angle A. We don't know. It's telling us B is 70 degrees and C is 40 degrees. So let's draw a triangle. And let's label our sides A, B, and C. And let's plug in we know. We know that B is 70 degrees, and we know C is 40 degrees. And then we know how many degrees are total in a triangle. Well, total is 180 degrees. What are we looking for here? We're looking for A. So we're going to substitute A with X. Next step, set up an equation. So we have X plus 70 plus 40 equals 180 degrees. You want to combine your like terms, which are 70 and 40. And 70 plus 40 gives us 110. Our next step is to get X by itself. So we're going to subtract 110 from each side. 110s cancel, and X equals 70 degrees. So the measure of angle A is 70 degrees. Now, what type of triangle is this? Well, let's look. We have a 70 and a 70 and a 40. And we know that 2 angles are the same. If 2 angles are the same, it's an isosceles triangle. So if 2 sides are the same, it's an isosceles triangle. Let's do another example together. All right, let's look at number 2, find the missing angle. What type of triangle is it? Let's first look at our slash marks. We have 1 slash mark, 2, and 3. So right off the bat, that indicates no sides are equal, therefore it's scalene. It's a scalene triangle. Now let's look at the triangle here. We have a 30 degrees, and we have a box here. What's that box indicate? It's a right angle. Therefore, that's going to be a 90-degree angle. And then we're looking for this angle right here. We'll label it x. So let's set up our equation. We have x plus 90 plus 30 equals 180. Combine our like terms. 90 plus 30 equals 120. We want to get x by itself. So we're going to subtract 120 from both sides. The 120s cancel, and x equals 60 degrees. And that is your answer. So x is 60, and it's a scalene triangle. Let's do another example together. Okay, so in number 3, it says find the value of x, find the degree measure of the angles. What type of triangle is it? This one's a little different. They want us to find the value of x and then find the degree measures. So let's look at our angles. We have x plus 4, 3x minus 14, and x. So let's set up our equation. We have x plus 4 plus 3x minus 14 plus x equals 180. Our next step is we want to combine our like terms. So our first like term is x plus 3x plus x. And that's going to give us 5x. Our next like term is positive 4 minus 14. So 4 minus 14 gives us a negative 10. And that equals 180. And we have a two-step equation. So we're going to add 10 to both sides. Get your like terms together. And we have 5x equals 190 divided by 5. And x equals 38 degrees. All right, so we found x. We found the value of x. Now let's find the degree measures of the angles. All right, so our first angle here is x. So we have 38 here. What's our second angle? Our second angle says x plus 4. So let's write x plus 4. And we just figured out that x equals 38. So we're going to replace 38 with our x value. So we have 38 plus 4. And 38 plus 4 gives us 42 degrees. So our second angle is 42 degrees. Our last angle is 3x minus 14. All right, so we have 3. Again, we're going to substitute 38 with x. And we're going to subtract 14. Next, you're going to multiply 3 times 38, and that gives us 114. And you're going to subtract 14, and that gives us 100 degrees. So our third angle measure is 100 degrees. Okay, so our three angle measures are 42, 100, and 38. Therefore, what type of triangle is it? They're all different angles, so it is a scalene triangle. So in this problem, we had to find x, we had to replace x to find the missing angle measurements, and then we identified the scalene triangle. So what I would like you to do now is the U trisection. I would like you to do number 1, number 2, and number 3, and we'll discuss it in class. Thank you.